going on and welcome back to the channel. Today in this DaVinci Resolve tutorial, we're talking about masking and how it can elevate your videos, and it's a lot easier than you think. Everything that I am going to be doing can be done in the free version of DaVinci Resolve. I'm not going to be using the magic mask. Everything's going to be done by hand. Now this can be a little more time consuming, but it can save you a couple bucks. Let's jump inside DaVinci Resolve and get going. So for the first mask, I want to do a reveal. I've got me messing on my computer with this shot, and then I am going to close the laptop and then reveal the shot behind it. That is what's playing on the computer. You are gonna need to plan this out if you're gonna do this kind of reveal. So what I like to do is swipe to where I see the computer screen is gonna start closing. It's right about there. So I'm going to hover over it. I'm gonna hit Command B on a Mac, or you could get your blade tool right here and you could cut it yourself. That way this clip specifically is just isolated to me closing the laptop. And once I close it, honestly, I can trim it up. I don't even need it to be that long. So with the clip selected, we're gonna go into the color tab, and here's where we're gonna do all the magic. So I need to right click underneath the node. I'm gonna hit add alpha output. It'll bring up a little blue dot. We're gonna grab the blue out and we are gonna connect it to the blue out. And then what we're gonna do is we are gonna do our power window. So I'm gonna click on the little arrow icon right here. It's underneath the Windows tab. I do like to soften it a little bit and have a little bit on the outside. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just start drawing. We're gonna go right here, something like that. Pretty big on top, boom. And you can see it does mask, but it is the opposite of what we want. So on the same line of that window, we're gonna hit invert, and it is going to invert it just like so. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the tracker right here. I'm gonna make sure I'm clicked on frame, and I am going to click this keyframe, and it's going to add a keyframe right there. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, why didn't I start from the beginning? I find it a little easier to pick a middle of the road spot so you can see the mask a lot easier, finish it out, then go back to your keyframe and just finish out the beginning. It's just a personal thing I like to do. You do not have to do that. You can start anywhere on here you want. Then I'm gonna hit the right arrow on my keyboard and I'm gonna go over one frame. I am gonna grab the mask and I'm gonna move it down just like so. And you can see it's gonna add a keyframe right here because we already turned it on. I don't have to click it every time. Then I'm gonna hit the arrow again. It's going to bring it down. I'm gonna do it just like so. One more time, we're gonna bring it right down here. I might need to adjust it just a little bit, something like that. And I'm going to need to grab these and stretch it out because I didn't make the box big enough from the beginning, but that's okay. Click it down one more time and we are going to just completely cover the frame like so, and that should be it. Now we're gonna go back to the keyframe that we started at. I'm going to hit the keyboard backwards, the left arrow. I'm gonna grab it, bring it up like so. One more time, just like so. And again, you can see, because I wasn't shooting this perfectly on, it was a little bit at an angle, then it wasn't at an angle. So this part you might need to clean up a little bit. Go back one more arrow, bring it up to where it's just spilling, bring it up one more and completely out of the frame. Then I'm gonna go back to the editor. Playing that through, you can see that's a really easy mask. You can see I took my time to really explain it, but something like that is really easy to do and honestly only takes about 30 seconds if you've done it before. Now this next technique is not really a mask at all. It's one of those that has been used in Hollywood for a very long time to hide cuts. And that is just dipping the black, having something go in front of the screen, and that's where they put their mask, or it's just a hard cut, but because it dips the black, you don't even know. So for example, I've got a couple clips. I've got this one right here where this guy is on his boat in the ocean, and then underneath him I have got this guy riding waves right here, and the waves are going to crash over the lens and it's going to get black. As well as I have right here, I've got the subway being filmed, and you can see these poles are exposed so dark you can't see anything. But let's first focus on the ocean shot. So I've got this guy riding the waves. We're just gonna cut it a little short because it is a very long clip shot in slow motion. Looks great. Let's let it get to where the lens gets covered right there. Perfect. I am going to just cut it. And then right here, you can see it's great, but it doesn't get dark until the end like so. So what we can do is we'll just line it up with it, and we are just going to right click on it, go to retime controls, click that little drop down, and we are just going to reverse segment on that. Because no one is jumping off the boat, because no one's casting a reel, nothing like that, we're gonna be able to get away with it. It's the ocean, it's constantly moving. You're not even gonna know if it's the right direction or not. So now if we play that through, the ocean comes over the camera, and then it comes back up to these people in the water, just like so. I think it works really well. Again, you have no clue where that cut is because it is the exact same. The only thing you may need to do is if it was not exposed the same, maybe this clip isn't quite as dark, we could always hop in the color tab, and in here we could mess with our curves and maybe make it just a little bit darker so it actually goes to true black. But these clips work. Now, the other two clips where the subway is, let me show you. So we've got this one right here. The subway is going through. I'm gonna find a good spot that I like. That works right there. I'm gonna trim it up. We are gonna grab this shot right here, bump it up to it, and you can see it actually works pretty good, but I have it moved over a little bit. So let me realign this back to where it goes. Play that through one more time. That actually could work. If you want to go a little bit more, we could zoom it in a little bit, grab our position, let's say something like that, add a keyframe, go like there, make sure we're back where it needs to be, and see if that gives it a little bit more motion. Yep, that gives it just a little bit more movement coming over, so it gives that realistic look. Now, this is only half of the frame, but because there's nothing underneath this, no one is the wiser. However, if you had something underneath this, like let's say this ocean shot, you can see where the clip is actually moving, and it kind of takes away the magic. But again, the viewer has no clue that that's there, and it's giving us some kind of movement to tie that. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, and that is Artlist. Now, the one thing I really want to talk about today is the tools implemented inside your editor via Artlist. After I've installed it, which is very simple, jump on artlist.io, add it, install it, boom, you're ready to go. Inside my editor, I prefer DaVinci Resolve. I'm gonna click on Open Effects, scroll all the way down here to the bottom, and you can see all these Artlist effects they have. So let's say I like this energy distortion. I'm gonna grab it, drop it on top. Or let's say we like the film damage. Let's grab that, drop it on top, and in here we can play that. Not even slowing my computer down. They have a bunch of different presets in here: slow burn, old film scratches, old film glitch, you name it, they've got it already in there, as well as you can go through and fine tune everything about it. And I am just scratching the surface here. They have so many other tools. They've got Artlist library extensions, so you can pull music into your editor, which is absolutely phenomenal. As well as they have an AI assistant you can install on your computer that will delete the silence out of a video that you're working on, which would save me an insane amount of time. If you're wanting to check out Artlist, which I highly recommend, I have a link in the description below. Use that link when you sign up, and you get 2 extra free months when you do a yearly subscription. Thank you so much, Artlist, for sponsoring this video and other creators just like me. For the last method, I really like using masks to reveal and hide text. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly what I've got. I've got the exact same shot stacked with a text in between it. If I shut off the top layer, you can see I've got a text in between the 2 layers. So I'm gonna jump inside the color tab, and I'm gonna make sure I'm on the top layer, somewhere again where I'm already halfway pulling it away from the text. Again, you guessed it, we are gonna be using a power window. I'm just gonna kind of draw one where I know the text roughly is, something like so. And I'm also going to invert it, and I need to add an alpha output because again, you can't see anything. So I'm gonna do that, drop it on top, boom, now we can see our text. So the camera I can see is going right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and kind of just align it roughly where I think looks good, something like so. Again, I like to soften it because I did not do that at the beginning. And then we're gonna jump inside the tracker. We are going to go to frame, hit a keyframe. We're gonna go back 1. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of do it like so. Yep. And there, and that looks good. Then we're gonna go the opposite direction, just grabbing the box and moving it where I think it looks good. I might adjust the box a little bit, just like so. Yep, go one more. Bring this way back, that way it's hiding with the lens. Go one more, something like so. One more, something like so. Last one all the way out of the way. Now, let's jump back into the editor and we can see that works, but it is the opposite of what we need. The text looks like it's attached to the lens. That's an easy fix. We're gonna jump back inside the color tab. We are gonna go to our mask and we are going to invert it. Now, if we play that through, you can see we have the text being revealed. You get the idea that the more time you take, the better the results are going to be. And again, this really didn't take me that much time, as well as there's so many different ways to use masks. I personally prefer power windows. There are a bunch of different ways you can do it inside DaVinci Resolve, inside of Fusion. However, this is just some of the easiest methods I have found to teach and to get people to understand how masks work. If you're wanting to learn that inside of Fusion and more in-depth stuff about masks and how you can really go above and beyond and stack multiple, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know and teach you guys if that's what you're wanting to learn. That's it for me today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. You're amazing. I'm the Iron Giant. See y'all next time. Peace. See, right there would have been like a transition, but I didn't do it. See y'all next time.